Hey guys, welcome to Group Chat.
A true group chat.
We got a bit of a spicy one. I mean, we used to do episodes where like you two would just argue for like 30 minutes straight. It wasn't that. I miss those days, actually. I don't know why you guys calm down so much. But the three of us are in here. And even though it's not an argument, I think everyone is a little, frustrated to say the least and on edge with, the recent Supreme Court decisions. And so we're going to talk it out. Right? I mean,
yeah, I think it's a good discussion. Obviously, it gets heated at times, but I think there's a lot to take away, and I think, like I said to start the episode, we aren't women, we don't know the experience, and I do believe there are a lot of opportunities here to rectify the situation, but we have to be a lot smarter on how we push forward.
We're optimistic. Well, two of us are. One of us just got his passport updated.
Yeah, we're going to London, baby.
Out of here.
Once he hits the winner, he's like, hey,
we're going to LA, baby. It's okay. You can be dual citizenship.
You can be bisexual, but actually you can't anymore.
You can be bi-coastal, bisexual. Yeah. Not the Supreme Court has anything to say about it. Okay, let's get into it.
Cash.
Ladies and gentlemen, Group Chat.
Cash.
It's $1 trillion. Hot.
Remember Czerny, Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
I mean, listeners, if you need any info on golf, Anand's your guy. He can tell you what's going on in the local scene. He can tell you the majors.
I'm going to Yellowstone in August. I'm just tagging along a golf trip.
Oh, there's a golf course there.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Why not?
Bro, you gotta
That's my start. That's my start. Neil's getting me lessons. I have a coach that's got me for 3 days.
While you're on that trip?
Yeah.
Okay, I hope it gets you. I hope you get hooked. You could put a net in your backyard with a little patch of turf.
But it just sucks to be bad at something for so long.
I know, but nobody knows. It only sucks to be bad at stuff when people know. If no one knows and you just go out there for an hour a week and do lessons. Yeah. I'm a year in. I'm starting to get it. I'm starting to figure this thing out. I almost beat Mikey Taylor today.
Wow.
But you're like a weird athlete.
Thank you, I think.
In a good way.
I'm not sure, but thank you.
Are we live or are we just still chit-chatting?
No, we're letting the listeners know what's really going on.
Okay.
This is how we're starting. All right, listeners, we're here. Listen, everyone said that the pod's the best when all three of us are on. This is what happens when all three of us are on. Sometimes we might just get lost in catching up.
Yeah.
Welcome to Group Chat. Okay, so enough of the funny business. I can't believe we haven't talked about this yet. Massive news. Roe v. Wade was officially overturned. I don't even know how to really kick this off. This is bananas. People are going nuts. The highways are shut down here in LA. People are blocking the highways. There's protests, obviously for good reason. People are very, very upset. I'm going to be honest. When I saw the footage of a war happening in Ukraine, the first thought that came to my head was, wow, I didn't think that we would see these type of images in 2022. I don't know. Maybe I sound dumb, but it was just sort of like I thought that type of action militarily in that region was old business. Wouldn't happen anymore. When this memo leaked that Roe v. Wade was going to be overturned, I thought in my head, there is zero chance. You might as well overturn gay marriage. You might as well just start to wind the clock back, which sounds like is on the table. And sure enough, they overturned it. Roe v. Wade. So abortion is now illegal federally and is up to the states to decide.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's illegal federally. I think they're just giving...
Or no longer legal.
Yeah, 20 states immediately it's illegal.
Yeah, but it's not federally illegal. They're just handing the power back to the states.
But, they know what they're doing.
Is it like weed, though?
It's basically like they know what is about to happen, and they just decided, like, hey, let's just give it to the wolves.
Yeah, but it's not technically illegal federally. Because then in California, if you have an abortion, it's against the law.
No, but there's 20 states at the minimum that it's illegal immediately.
Sure, but it's still legally incorrect to say that it's illegal.
To clarify, it is not. So it's not like weed in the sense that the feds could show up to an abortion clinic in California and arrest people.
Correct.
Sure, California, but like,
but I think the first thing is like, we're an all male podcast. We actually don't really understand truly what this means.
Not at all.
What women actually go through. One during pregnancy, one during miscarriages.
I actually think I understand it pretty clearly. Right. I'm going to interrupt.
I just think you have to be very sensitive to the fact, whether you're for it or against it, you are not a woman and you don't know what the process of going through pregnancy looks like. Yes, you can be absolutely mortified at what happened this weekend, but you still never experienced it. So we're still talking out of pocket.
But why are you talking out of pocket?
No, because we don't know.
Why do you think it needs to be to the states and not the federal?
No, I'm not even talking about that. I'm just talking about we are an all male podcast about to talk about abortion.
It's just a good disclaimer.
It's a very big disclaimer.
It's a good disclaimer, but I'm really curious where your
my point is no. It's about showing that at the end of the day, this is a humongous experience for a woman and not for a man. It's very easy for a man to talk about the topic, but we don't experience it.
So that's actually more important to be like,
I know, but we
shouldn't even be talking about it. It should be up to a woman.
I know, but
it shouldn't be up to a court that is a male majority Supreme Court.
He did the right thing.
You're not even listening to what I'm saying.
As a podcast of all dudes, we got to start with a good disclaimer that says, hey, we acknowledge that we don't. It's same if you're talking about like race issues, right? We acknowledge we don't know what it's like to be black in America, so we can only speak with it with a grain of salt.
No, but we should acknowledge how it should be for rights for people.
I know you're missing the point.
I'm not going to actually concede this, so we can keep going, and I'm going to keep going.
You can keep fighting it. I don't care. We can do this for 45 minutes.
We can do this for another hour. But
some of our best episodes are when you guys argue. So
just to say like, oh, we're boys, we can't talk about women's rights.
No, because we should have a woman on this episode talking about this with us. You're just going to talk about what you think.
What does that mean?
No, I'm just telling you, it would have been nice to have a woman on this episode. I think it would have been very important to have a woman on this episode.
That's sure, but like, can you not empathize with the woman?
Of course, but it would be nice to know exactly how they feel.
I think we know enough women. We all have wives and girlfriends.
Okay, my wife went through a miscarriage. What she went through, I did not go through. I saw the fucking pain in her heart for years. To this day, it still affects her. So I can't empathize with her to the full extent.
What does that have to do with abortion?
It's of course it's the same. It's such an emotional process.
So you're saying you're not willing to give someone a right to have this?
No, that's not even. You're not even listening.
Anand,
you're out of pocket. You're wrong. You're absolutely incorrect.
I'm not wrong, but we can keep going.
No, I'm
going to keep going. So this isn't going to end.
As the third party here, as the third party, I'm just letting you know you are missing Dee's intention with what he said.
What's Dee's intention?
If
Dee can stop and drama can talk, yes. I will actually willing to listen. Okay. Otherwise, I'm not.
You sound like a Republican who doesn't let people talk. Go ahead.
Okay. Dee's intention for what he said was that we are going to talk about this topic. We're going to share our feelings. I think we're all three probably on the same page. Maybe we're not. Who knows? But the point is, we do all of that while understanding that we are three dudes talking about women's bodies and how deeply this affects women. And so even though we can empathize with them and we can say, hey, this is fucked up and this is blah, 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 it's still three guys talking about something that is so sensitive and personal to a woman. And technically the right thing to do probably would have been to have a woman on also, just to shed some extra light on it. That being said, I'm sure we're all on the same page of how we feel.
Yeah,
that's
my point. But you didn't want to hear that. You wanted to make up your own assumption of what I thought.
What's your assumption?
No, your assumption.
What's your assumption?
My assumption is I just wanted to give a disclaimer that it would have been nice to have a woman on the podcast today.
That's fine.
That's it. You didn't want to do that. You just attacked me instead.
No, it just seemed like
look what they're doing to us. They're breaking us apart.
This is a fundamental problem with Democrats. They have no fucking chance to win anything. I got jumped on just to just let people know.
I think we all agree too.
Exactly. This is the fundamental flaw of the Democratic Party.
Okay. Let's just move past it. The disclaimer's out there. Yes. We put it out there. How do we feel about this? Obviously insanity, but you guys go, how do we feel?
Go ahead, Anand. You have such strong opinions.
I have very strong opinions about this. I have very strong opinions about this because, I think when you think about like, it's more of just a message to women, which is what I am really like, kind of like distraught about. Like, we're going to tell you how to do things. Give me a fucking break. Do you think Republicans really give a shit about Christianity and like really give a shit about religion the way they like pretend? They don't.
I think Republicans care about Christianity. I actually do. This is a Christian country.
It is a Christian country.
It's a fundamental Christian country.
You have Christians that are like fucking cheating on their wives and doing everything.
But
and
you
like,
can repent in the Bible.
I mean, my point is like, I think it's it's a fraud, right? And like pretending that abortion, pro-life is like supposed to be this thing is a fraud. It's similar to like how we talk about all the financial shit. Like, oh, the banks say you can't do this, but we know they're all frauds. It's how I feel about. How about this?
Yeah, look, I think I agree to that to an extent. I think there are fundamentally people. If you polled 100 million Christians in America, I bet you there's a lot of people that truly actually believe in that, and they live their life by that too, right? I'm not saying all of them do. I said, I bet you there are a lot. And fundamentally, we should always remember this country was founded on like Christianity beliefs. And it's clearly woven through the way that this country is run. So that's just something that it has not escaped this country. And I don't think it's escaping clearly anytime soon.
My honest take, it's like kind of, just real quick, sorry, that's kind of in the middle of you too, but we're all saying kind of the same thing, is to be honest with you, I think that there's people that sort of like, I think there's a lot of people that are for this. I've seen people protesting and stuff, and I think those people are probably very religious and whatever, and I don't get it. But I'm talking about, when we're talking about the Supreme Court, I think there's people that like miss the good old days of Christian America and the Christian family and it's just like, that's long gone. But you're trying to, even though you don't live by it personally, a lot of the people that are trying to make these big changes, it's like you miss the days where everyone just had their Bible, they were Christian families, and you could go do whatever you want and sort of skirt the rules because you're important, and you're like somehow trying to get back to the past in some weird way.
Yeah, I think there's definitely that. I mean, in general feeling amongst some Americans, that's their goal, right? To get back to the good old days. The other challenge is that like this law clearly disproportionately impacts poor people, because any even middle class person can drive across the state and continue on.
And I'm gonna actually bring up a post. Erin Foster, who's obviously an influencer, she has a lot of followers. She posted at Ivanka Trump, "You are noticeably quiet today. The high school friends who took you to get an abortion are not."
Yeah,
it's Donald Trump's daughter.
I mean, how many abortions has Trump ordered?
I mean, come on, Trump's had.
Come on, bro.
No, but that's my point.
It's about power. Yeah. It's about power. Like, this is all about power.
If I'm not even like, it's all a charade. But like, no one actually gives a shit. Is my point.
Here's where I get actually really mad. The Republicans told us they were going to do this. They've been telling us for fucking 50 years. Yeah. They told us when Trump was running, he said he would do it.
And they had that little finesse in Texas. Like we had all the signs.
And guess what? Democrats, Obama had a shot to codify this and force this as law. They had supermajority in the Senate. They had David Plouffe went and started tweeting about it today. And every political strategist went after him. You guys had the shot. You didn't do it. Yeah. And so it's all bullshit. If it was such an important topic for the Democrats, you could have fucking nailed it in the coffin. Yeah. You didn't. You just absolutely didn't. And
I don't think they're effective.
They're not. And you know, I watched a clip from AOC yesterday. She finally was like, they aren't playing fair. Why are we playing fair? And that ultimately, this is a game. And you have to this one side of the game is willing to do anything to win.
here's
anything
what
to
I don't
win.
get is like, I'm not in Washington. I'm sure there's some.
I don't even know if it's popular. So I don't know if what Dee's saying about David Plouffe. I have no idea if that's true or not. I have no idea. I didn't see that. But my point is,
Obama could have done it though. It's very known he could have done it. He didn't do it.
I have no idea if that's true.
He had 6 weeks in the Senate. He could have done it. He didn't do it. It was not a priority to him.
I don't know if that's true, but
Google it.
We can Google it. I just don't know if that's true. My point is, Republicans are just better tacticians.
Yes, and Democrats had the opportunity to do it, and they didn't. The
part that I don't get is like, I know AOC sees shit that we don't see, and so she talks about not playing fair, and I'm sure there's a lot of grimy shit going on. But I know it's very clear to know that both sides play rough.
Yeah.
The thing that I don't get is they just put more judges in the Supreme Court. And the judges just voted. And like at the end of the day, I don't know how dirty that was played. The Democrats just didn't do that right on an execution front.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And then all the judges lied in Congress about how they would vote on Roe v. Wade. That's like on
I
record.
mean, if the Democrats are stupid enough to believe that, then they're fucking idiots. This is why, like, look, ultimately, yes, you can be extremely mad at the Republicans, but they said they were going to do this. There was no secret. They fucking told us for decades, if we got all the power, we are going to change all these fucking laws. And then Clarence Thomas adds the cherry. Hey, we should look into
same-sex
marriage,
same-sex sex,
so
and contraception.
I'm curious, D, you keep arguing with me. So are you for this?
What do you think, you fucking moron?
I'm curious. You just keep attacking me.
No, because I'm attacking because I'm mad at the Democrats for not handling business when they had the shot.
I'm
you guys
just
are both
really
mad
curious.
about the same thing, but you're taking it out on each other.
Yeah, but like it's like
no, because this is why I don't even want to support the Democratic Party anymore. I don't want to support any party. They're fucking incompetent. No, it's just this is the problem. The Democrats aren't going to get this law changed. They don't have the fucking strategy to figure this out. They fucked women royally. They had the opportunity to do it and they didn't.
Yeah.
So that's why, like, the Republicans are not, they said, this is what we're going to do. That's not, dude, that's nuts.
Yeah. I agree. That part, I mean, I hope we're not going too fast. It's like, it feels to me like, yeah, we should all talk about how bad this sucks. It's horrendous. But I do think that the next part of that conversation, shortly after we just sort of mourn how shitty this is where the fuck where are these people? What are they doing? I feel like there's so many issues that are like real kind of social issues, which is what the Democrats are supposed to, they're known. That's why a lot of people just blindly vote for them, is like, oh, they're the ones who actually care about people. And like, I don't know, man. I feel like they've come up short constantly.
Yeah, it's really disappointing because like there's so many things that, the Democrats had serious power with Obama and didn't get anything done. Anything substantial done.
No, they got Obamacare done.
Okay, sure.
Obamacare was probably the most legendary legislation we've seen in 25 years.
They didn't get this done. This is a big fuck up.
Yes, Obamacare was important, and I think that that's great. But I don't know. I have trouble being like, well, okay, they didn't do so. Who cares about this one because they did get Obamacare? It's like, I don't know. This is wild. This is like, you're going backwards. And they literally said out in the open, once again, they've said it now, they should take a look at the right to contraception, same-sex sex, and same-sex marriage. That is fucking bananas.
Yeah. And the thing
and
is,
interracial marriage, right?
No, not Clarence Thomas is married to a white girl.
I know, but
he didn't say that though. He didn't say that one.
But they mentioned something about that, even though Clarence didn't personally.
Clarence is like, that's a little too close to home. I got a white girl.
Wild, man.
I just think that, like, look, at the end of the day, I'm curious to see if in 4 years or whatever, 6 years, Democrats have ultimate power again. What are you going to do to rectify this? Because here's the problem is I'm on all the Democratic mailing lists because I donate. I got donate now.
Oh yeah.
That is not what I want to hear.
Yeah.
I want to know, what exactly are you going to do? Not how much money you want from all of us. That's the problem, is there's no strategy. There's no like thoughtfulness around how you're going to solve this problem now. Like,
Yeah.
what are you actually going to do about it? And I
They're just
think
going to
like,
complain that the Republicans are bad.
yeah, and that's not
That's all
enough.
they do. That's all they did with Trump.
Yeah, and I think that's not the right strategy. I think it's like someone on the Democratic side needs to put together a real strategy how to fix this, because obviously this is not a majority of American thing. Like, this is clearly not what a majority of Americans want.
because it's like 75% are against this, is what, like, kind of, you look across all polling, 75% is against this. And you have, it's just insane. It's literally insane. I don't get it. Like, I don't get how Republicans like believe that this is like a winning strategy. Like,
But you know what? They play the long game. The long game is, if I'm a Republican strategist,
we had, all right, he listens to the pod.
yeah,
Jeffrey Choi.
Yeah.
He's a pastor
Yeah.
of a very conservative
yeah,
church. And he even said they're obviously pro-life, but he said it's a very, very small minority
yeah.
of Christians
Yeah.
that are in this. And that was his.
I know, but
kind of-
I think if you looked at a middle class Christian family, that's probably what you get, right? Like, people are probably, sane. I think the Republicans look at it. Okay, think about it from this perspective, because it's very sensitive, but like disproportionately it affects minorities.
and poor people. Yeah.
Yeah, specifically
Across-
poor minorities.
Yeah.
What's a great way to keep them poor?
Just have them had kids that they can't afford.
Yes. And if you are part of a party that believes in supremacy of one type of people, it's not a bad strategy. And that's what they're playing.
The woman at Trump's rally said it's a victory for white life.
Yeah.
So I went into that, and
She meant to say right to
right
life.
life,
Sure,
right
but-
life.
Sure.
But that's, it
Whatever.
rolls off the tongue. It
It's
rolls off the
it's
tongue.
a Freudian.
come on.
And then they showed
thing.
her full family. She has like one of her
And here's the other
daughters is
thing.
married to a
Here's the
black
other
guy.
thing. The crowd didn't go quiet. Like, wait, what'd you
No.
say? The crowd was
But
like,
here-
yeah.
Can we just like kind of step back for like a quick second?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think we know the data. The data is the majority is like, hey, at some point you're allowed to have an abortion, whether it's first trimester, genetic, second trimester. Like, the data is very clear.
Yep.
It's not like debatable.
Yeah, but
No,
You're
it's
saying,
not
like, what
debatable.
are the Republicans
It's like
doing?
75%. At some point you're allowed to have an abortion.
yeah, that's not what they care about. They care about power. They want to control you. They control half the population now. Do you know that? They control half the population. This is all about power. This is about,
Do you think that's the motivation? Like, they just get off on like, yeah, we just did that.
yeah, 100%. I think
Jesus
like,
would love this. Right? I mean, are they sitting around having scotch right now? Like, Jesus is so proud of
look,
us.
why are they gerrymandering districts? Why are they doing this? It's to retain power. And the thing is, it's like, I'm curious to see. We have an election in November. What are people going to do? Like, it's very easy to scream and yell on social media and protest and do all those things, but to actually go to the ballot and vote and make a difference in your community will make the difference of these laws getting overturned and things going back to normalcy. And the thing that I struggle with is like, there's all these protests happening all over the country. Unfortunately, with the exception of the march in DC, they're happening in the wrong fucking cities. Because like, protesting in downtown LA does not have any impact. We're all on your
Mississippi,
side.
we need Mississippi, Missouri.
Missouri, like, you need to be in places that like where those politicians need to hear what's
But
going
also
on.
just
And
vote.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Like, I maybe I'm in the wrong here. And if so, fuck me. But when I see protests now, after the way that the voting has been going, I just feel like,
unfortunately, protesting does nothing when you could vote.
that's the thing, is like, you can vote in November. And if you don't vote in November, and if something doesn't change in November, those protests are just starting to get real annoying. because I feel like people just like to do it because it looks good on their social media that they were out there doing it, and voting doesn't look good on social media.
Yeah, this is going to be a very seminal moment, right? Like in November, you're going to have lots of states legislatures. You're going to have a lot of places in all these states. Like
from very important Senate seats are up, very important House seats are up.
Yeah.
Like, and they already think they're going to win all of them.
Yeah, because I mean, if you were to pre-Roe v. Wade, it was a Republican landslide. I mean, they expanded gun laws. No, hold on. They expanded gun laws, right?
Yeah.
Last week.
Yeah.
Expanded gun laws.
Right after all, like the most tragic shooting in the last decade.
A bunch of 18 kids fucking got killed, which is fucking disgusting.
They're like, you know what? You know what'd be cool?
Like, here, let's get more guns.
Yeah.
And then we did Roe v. Wade. And hey, this is a test. Like, where's the society at?
And I'll give you, there was a bigger test that happened in 2016 that the Democrats failed. So many Democrats did not go and vote for Hillary Clinton.
Yeah.
Like, people hated her so much. And like, I couldn't believe it because we were obviously big supporters of her. We went and donated, went to events. Like we were all about her. And like, I know like Bernie bros that just didn't vote for her. They refused to vote for Hillary Clinton. Where's your culpability in this fucking process?
I agree. Yeah. I mean, 2016 was one of the most.
Think about it. That guy put on 3 justices.
Yeah, 2016 was honestly one of the most like disheartening experiences in my life as like an adult, and it was so just like no one gave a shit.
Yeah. Well, they didn't realize what the consequences were.
Yeah.
And now there's no accountability. Everyone thinks like I have no actual accountability here, or I have no effect on the outcome. So I'm going to scream about it or I'm going to hashtag it, but I'm not actually going to leave my house and stand in that line and do all that.
I mean, I'll tell this story. I've told it before on this podcast, probably years ago. I don't know who's listened that far back, but we got married in Ojai, which was like a few days before the election. We went to the Baccarat to just kind of hang for a couple days.
Yeah.
And it was election night, and it was very clear Trump was winning. And there was a build that wall chant at the Baccarat in Santa Barbara.
Remember there was almost a fight at your wedding? What's your guy's name? Raj? Was that Raj?
No, Ken and Omar Rishi.
Ken and Omar Rishi, man.
Yeah.
They almost fought a Trumper in the fucking bar the night before your wedding.
You saved him because the white guy.
I said, hey, white guys, calm down. Okay, I know these fellas.
Our white knight came to our rescue.
And the only reason, and the other guy got arrested because Drama, the white knight, actually like saved them.
I spoke for the whites. I said, listen, we need peace here. But what Ken took his belt off, was smacking his belt. I mean, that was literally, I just want to say that, not to go off on a tangent, but like, that's what it felt like. It was the night before your wedding and your boy took his belt off and is smacking his belt because there's like white guys taunting him there for like a Trump celebration. It was wild.
Yeah, no, it's
because they already knew they were going to be
they're inside.
You ain't going to be here much longer.
They're like, let's start cleaning up now. Crazy.
And I've texted this to Dee in a multiple of chats, and I'm like curious Drama because obviously I've already expressed it to Dee.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like increasingly bearish on this country.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be that guy, right? Like,
no,
I'm moving, blah, blah. I'm not like, I'm not that guy.
Yeah.
Like, to be very clear.
Yeah.
But I'm increasingly bearish on like the polarization. It's just so fucking compounding.
Yeah.
And everything is becoming like a disaster.
Mm-hmm. So my honest take is, I also have those feelings. It seems kind of like this just feels like downslide written all over it. But I also don't want to be that guy. I don't want to expand on that message or that feeling. And my hope is that like, look, if you look back in history, pre-social media, when you just didn't know about the fucked up shit that was going on, there was also a lot of fucked up shit going on. Now, You throw on top of that, of course, economy, and I don't know, but the hope that I'm holding on to is it's just that we're in a funk and we know it. You see every detail. It's on your timeline all day long, and you get to see all of the gross shit that's happening and all the mistakes and all the whatever. That's my hope.
I think.
I mean, the problem is like, Anthony's in London saying life's amazing.
Well, he's rich. He's rich. That's different.
Yeah.
He's just an elitist. He's an elitist.
No, but
I have
friends
seen a
in
lot of
Europe
people
right now that are just like living.
I've seen a
the
lot of that.
best life.
Yeah,
I've seen a
because
lot
the
of
problem is it's summer in Europe.
But he's rich
That's why.
here too. I mean,
He's
London.
rich here too,
He's rich
but
in
he's
New
a-
York,
Yeah.
but
But
he
he wants
prefers
to be
London.
there.
I mean, it's summer. That's not fair. He's not. Okay, if he's in London in December, then I'll believe it. He's
It's
not going to
summer
be in London in
here
December.
too.
Yeah, but it's just, this is the time to be in Europe. He's fresh off Paris Fashion Week. Kendrick's doing Glastonbury. Like,
Yeah.
I get it. I'd rather be in Europe too. But I got 2 little kids. I'm never going to Europe.
It's over. It's all over.
Yeah. We're just going to fight here.
We're
You,
gonna
Dom, and
stand.
Miles. Just fighting.
Just in the
Oh
streets.
my God.
To that point, like, a part of me also, like, to what Anand's saying is like, I'm not bearish on America, because whenever these really tested times come, you do find incredible leadership from people. You find new faces. You find, you do get hope, right? Like, if you think about like what Obama represented when he got elected and what he did, whatever, we can discuss
but
that
here's Roe
later.
v. Wade.
I know. So my point is that there's going to be some David Hogg, who is the March for Our Lives Parkland kid, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm on his newsletter. I subscribe to it, and that kid just blasted the Democrats, and he's a liberal. He's a liberal kid.
Yeah.
He obviously, what happened to him, he cares, and he blasted Democrats and said, like, you guys are part of the problem too. And I think that, to me, is like, I follow Andrew Yang on Twitter, and he wrote on Twitter, it feels like Democrats owe their people an apology for being bad at their jobs. They had a long time to codify Roe v. Wade, defend a balanced court, get RBG to step down. Instead, they got played and trounced. Help undo our failures is not a compelling rallying cry. And he's been going very hard the last 2 days about a third political party. And like, and the thing is like, I'll talk to like my Republican friends and conservative friends. They don't even believe that shit either.
No, they don't. And
here's
here's an interesting point. Like Dave Portnoy, right? Largely the MAGA celeb, right?
Well, I think that's a misrepresentation. Like, I think that's what we do.
We do that as a society.
No, but Dave Portnoy largely is like
I don't think he's MAGA.
No, but
I don't think
here's
he's
why.
MAGA. I think Tucker.
No. You're typecasting. No, but
I'm not typecasting him, but my point
But
is,
you are though.
But that's why Democrats lose. It's because we give people up. We say like, "Oh, you're MAGA now," and like we could have had Dave Portnoy. We could have.
I'll tell you what.
You're not letting me finish.
1 second.
He had a full fucking.
All right, we're all on edge.
But here's the thing: this is what Democrats do. They see a white guy who speaks freely, talks about girls, talks about fucking golf and sports, and they're like, "That's MAGA." He
That's what we
never
did to Joe
once has
Rogan.
ever
handed
talked
Joe
about his
Rogan
political
over.
beliefs.
He interviewed Trump. He went to the White House and interviewed Trump.
He
That's
said
fine.
he voted for Joe Biden in his little rant.
No, but
Yeah, that's because they asked him. Could they
No, but
outplayed us again?
okay,
go.
yeah.
That's not even your point. It's not your point. Go.
Yes.
Go.
Drama and D. If
Yeah.
you guys were to poll Dave Portnoy's
people
fans,
Mhm.
no, if
Okay.
you were to poll Dave Portnoy's fans,
Okay.
it has to be north of 50% that are Republican, correct?
I don't think so. I wouldn't feel comfortable saying that, honestly. I don't think that it's.
Really?
I also wouldn't feel comfortable saying it's definitely north of 50% Democrat. I think me as a Democrat, I don't.
Okay, can I explain what he did so that we can just give context
Yeah,
if
get to
people
the-
didn't like? So he posted a video about Roe v. Wade and how offended he was, and then tweeted like, "Hey," and these are his words, not mine. Like, you guys all sucked my dick to get me on your programs.
Yeah.
And he's talking about Fox News. And I did it the entire pandemic because he was hot during the pandemic.
Mhm.
And now you guys are talking shit about me. And basically Republicans have turned on him because
Yep.
he just basically said, hey, I'm pro-choice.
And then today he posted a picture of a truck, and he said, "Look at my rig," and it's at the Pride Parade in wherever, Miami, New York, whatever is this weekend, and everyone's like, "Oh my god," because they have a podcast with two gay guys on it in the Barstool Network, and I think it just the people's heads exploded. That
Yeah. I thought he was one of us.
yeah, he's pro-choice. And
What
he
the
is gay.
fuck? He likes rainbows.
But yeah, I agree. I mean, I think simultaneously. So let's take Dave Portnoy as an individual. Where does he go from here? He obviously believes in the right things. Okay.
He's exactly what the average guy is. He's socially liberal.
Yeah.
He's fiscally conservative.
Okay.
He doesn't want to pay taxes and he believes in gay rights and believes in pro-choice.
He doesn't have a party, and he's most of this country.
Yeah.
But
Because what do
I
you
just
think?
want to lump into there Joe Rogan too, because Joe Rogan's one of the most influential men on this in this country, and he is in exactly the same boat.
Yeah, and Joe Rogan. If you mention Joe Rogan out in L.A., are you joking?
You can't. You
can't.
get kicked out of the restaurant.
Yeah, and which is nuts. You listen to him. Does he feel like a right winger?
I mean, he says openly he supported Bernie and he's a Democrat and he blah blah blah. Like he says it over and over and over.
It's the vaccine thing is the only thing that you could basically call him out on.
We just throw people out.
And by the way,
Like,
I know plenty of Democrats who are fucking anti-vax.
I mean, think of who we threw out in the last 2 years. We've thrown out of the party essentially Dave Portnoy, Joe Rogan, and Elon Musk. We just threw them over because what they didn't like certain, maybe you didn't want to wear a mask or you this or you that. Oh, you're MAGA, get out of here.
Yeah.
What are we
Anything you
doing?
say. Yeah. And I think that's here's the one thing about the Republican Party that is just better. Their missions are aligned. Everyone's on the same page.
They fucked up by booting Portnoy,
the
though.
Republicans are like, we want
Guns.
We want to kill kids. We want to make sure abortions are illegal, and we just want to keep it running.
Yeah, and but at least it's consistent.
Yeah,
Like-
I mean, they no climate change, no abortion, more guns, more Bibles. They no one defects.
I think this election in November will be very telling on what is priority to Americans. Because is it the
I think
economy?
it's protesting over voting. I think it's
I think-
looking
is it
like
the
you
economy?
care over.
Yeah, because like here's the problem: 100% recession, 100% high oil prices. Those aren't
that's what's
changing
fucked
anytime
up too.
Like the
That's
recession's
what's
not
fucked up,
even
too.
started. Like it started from a technical standpoint,
Yeah.
but the pain is in 6 months.
But
And
see, this is where
unfortunately-
I'm torn, is because I do think like that's also fucked up. It's not anything near this issue. This is a way different thing. But the point is, like, up until this Roe v. Wade thing, I thought the Republicans had it on lock.
Yeah.
Like they could have soared into November. But even for me, sitting where I sit, this recession stuff and inflation and like this is really bad too. Like something's got to change here too. The crime, you know what I'm saying? Like we're in a fucking pickle here as voters.
Yeah, and I think the problem is we're not seeing candidates that represent the real makeup of America. And I think that's a huge problem for both parties, frankly, not just Democrats.
Yeah.
I think Democrats need to ease up on bashing every person that like, I mean, I bet you if the cancel culture was removed out of the Democratic Party, 75% of this country would vote Democrat.
Yeah. I agree.
I mean, a guy like Dave Portnoy, after seeing his comments, I wouldn't vote for either party.
Portnoy actually was the most reasonable person I've heard in the last 3 days.
And
what he said was so basic.
So basic.
So
You know what I
basic.
mean? He's like,
But my
hey,
point is like,
maybe they should
hey.
be able to choose. And it's like, well, a prophet. You know,
Yeah.
like that's what it feels like. It's like, oh my
Yeah.
God, a voice that
Yeah.
understands. And it's like,
And I think, you know, like I heard a lot of women asking like for men to speak out, which they should and we should.
here we are.
But I also think we should be a lot more thoughtful and tactful, because speaking out clearly does not matter. Because if you look at social media, okay, Donald Trump is banned from Twitter.
Yeah.
Banned from social media. Some of the most prominent Republican figures do not have a voice on social media.
I mean, look, this big problem is that all of these social media platforms are bended in a liberal direction. Like they're all represented by people on the left, and we're still losing.
Yeah, and I think that just proves two things. One, social media is actually not effective.
Social media should be banned.
Well, it's not effective if you don't go vote afterwards. You can't just say, yeah.
Can I actually give you a really funny point?
Yeah.
So Thursday night, one of my best friends, who you know really well, he had an emergency, had to get a flight to DC. It was Spirit Airlines. That was the only flight available.
Jesus Christ!
Wow, you're friends with people who fly Spirit?
No, and we had this like long running joke. Like, dude, I just was like, dude, you can't fly Spirit.
That's amazing.
And he's like, I was like, you can't fly Spirit.
They have a nonstop, or
it's like an emergency. It's like a family emergency, and you're like, bro,
it was a family emergency. It was a family emergency. And I was like, dude, with the family emergency, do not fly Spirit. I was like, just do the red eye, do something, because I can't do it. And whatever, he booked it. And I didn't think anything of it. He texted he got there safely because, like, you never know with Spirit. And I opened TikTok and
he's on it.
No, there's this comedian, this unknown comedian doing a whole bit on Spirit Airlines.
Oh my God. Did you send it to him?
Yeah, I sent it to him.
And was it about like how crazy it is?
Yeah, it's like, it's a big black Twitter thing. Like Spirit Airlines is really big on black Twitter.
Got it.
But my point is, they're listening better than Facebook.
Yeah, they're great.
It's incredible.
Fine people.
Wait, who is?
TikTok is listening to me better than Facebook is listening to me.
Yeah.
And I talked about TikTok for about 30 minutes with my friend, and I got fed as soon as I opened TikTok.
Spirit?
Spirit Airlines.
Yes. You mean you were talking about Spirit Airline?
Yeah.
With your friend, not TikTok.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Spirit Airlines, but TikTok knew and gave me a comedy bit, which was incrable.
Yeah. And you watched it.
Yeah, I watched
and you shared it too.
I sure did. And he loved it.
Yeah.
And he probably shared it with 5 other people.
Yeah, he did. It worked flawlessly. Their plan.
And I think, look, I think social media, unfortunately, does not represent anything. It's just, I think the frustrating thing about social media, like the last 3 days, you see how angry people are. But like, I think I only read one woman that actually gave like a real strategy on like how to change this. Yeah. Instead, I just got a lot of people complaining. Which,
a lot of people just like posting links like, hey, you like go read this.
Yeah, go read it.
You know what I mean? Like, hey, we need to stop something. Here's a link. And it's like, come on.
Yeah.
Just tell me what to do.
I mean, I'll be really honest. I know Dee is on the opposite side. This is the first time I've actually been considering moving the family somewhere else just for a little bit.
But like,
not
where?
Like I want to like denounce citizenship or whatever. I'm not like that guy.
Oh,
he wants to go to Saudi. He wants to go straight to Saudi.
Just go straight to it. Just go live.
No rights there.
Can't
even have a drink. You can't even have a drink.
At least you got great golf though. Well, no, where would you go? Like, give me just so I understand.
London. Just go to London.
Yeah. And
then he's in there in November and he's like,
No, my point is basically like,
how about another
just
year?
like lower the temperature. Like it's too much here.
Yeah.
But
the temperature's too
don't
much.
you think you could lower the temperature like
it was hot today. It was really hot. I was sweating my ass off. I feel like I carry my kids around the block. I was sweating.
No, but my point
I'm not going to
is
name the place, but don't you think you could move somewhere like domestically and lower the temperature? Like we're just not so many people.
No, it's social media. You're going to go on London and still be on Twitter.
Social media.
No time difference. I'm out.
No, you'll still be on it.
I'm not kidding. This is you guys. I know you guys are going to either make fun of me or ignore me on this, but not spending nearly as much time on social media makes a massive fucking difference.
It 100% does. So I don't have any notifications on any social media.
Yeah.
Just that, which I think I did 2 years ago. I think like during pandemic, I kind of turned it all off. Made a massive decrease in my social media usage and just general
You
kind
feel
of,
it. You feel
and then this
calmer.
weekend, obviously, I was on Twitter a lot. And I didn't feel good because like I just saw like people are very angry. And then I saw the other side, like Donald Trump Jr. posting memes, which is obviously enraging. Like he says, post the most insane
Oh my
shit.
God. He's
Like
a psycho.
he's just like dancing on everyone's graves.
Yeah,
He's, you know, that's how he
He's
is.
so happy.
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
because
He's the worst.
Here's the reality. This is a scary statement I'm about to say. Donald Trump, unfortunately, is the most influential president we've had in a very long time. He's like FDR influence. Think about the impact he's had on our society.
Donald
Yeah.
Trump
Fuck
is. I mean,
Influence can be negative.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, I think that's accurate.
I think Donald Trump is insanely impactful,
I mean, he burned the country down.
and he burned it down, and we're here.
Yeah.
Here we are.
And we have to deal with it. He's at Mar-a-Lago golfing. I mean, can you imagine Mar-a-Lago this weekend? They've been laughing up a storm.
Oh, they were just sending each other memes and fucking TikToks and just golfing and
But why do they care about abortion?
This power.
they
They
don't. care about
don't.
it.
They're all
They
getting
literally-
it
yeah.
too.
I
They're
think that
okay.
they.
No, they're. I mean, that might be. There might be all gay too. But like I said, they're all getting it too. I guess I did say poop. I got 500 DMs of
Yeah,
me
you did say poop. I think you
I
said
knew it.
Trump poops.
I knew it, man. I heard that clear as day.
And maybe
Yeah,
they
I think
are
it's all
gay.
power. I think that their dream is an America that is Christian values. I'm sure there's some extra whiteness involved in their dream. And
Yeah, of
they
course.
get to fuck around and gallivant and do whatever they want and have as many abortions as they want with their, but they laugh at the Christian follow our lead. Like, I think
Yeah.
that is honestly what they're trying to create.
Yeah,
That
okay.
life for them, I think, is the dream life.
Yeah,
Because if everyone
It's
just
like
follows
rules
the
for
Bible,
thee, not for me,
everyone's
right?
1
Is that
million
the thing?
percent. Yes.
That's it.
for
Rules
D or
thee.
D.
Rules for thee.
Yeah,
not
okay.
There's
for
no
me.
rules for D. But I got to be honest, like,
There's
you
no
know,
rules for D.
There's no
This guy
rules.
changes
Yeah,
rules
yeah.
every time.
yeah, there's no rules for D.
That's why there's some things about the party I'm not against.
Yeah.
But I think I know people are getting very like into the nuances of abortion and using that as the baseline of their strategy. It's not that. I think you have to use what leverage do you have against the Republican Party? Use that. That's more
Yeah.
important. I don't think fighting about the nuances of the law is going to win. You got to go for the jugular. What do they care about? And fucking use that as your leverage. Here's the thing is like, you need smarter people at the Democratic Party on strategy to be like, these guys, if you're down, they'll step on your fucking neck till you're dead. That's not what's happening on the Democrats. It's just
All
not.
they've done for 6 years is complain about the Republicans.
Yes.
That's been their strategy.
And I know everyone, we don't have the majority in the we don't have 60 senators or whatever, 51 senators or
Yeah, wait till you see what you're about to have.
Yeah, exactly. You don't have anything. You're about to have nothing.
They spent the whole Trump presidency and kind of still like just complaining about Trump.
Yeah.
They got to get in there and get in the mud.
Yeah, and I think like honestly, I know the insurrection is a fucking travesty. I don't know. I would dead that shit. Go
Move
after
the fuck
something
on.
way bigger. Way bigger. I just
Yeah.
don't think that's what Americans care about. The ratings for it are fucking terrible.
I mean, I'll be really
that alone
honest.
tells you.
I care a lot more today about the crime and the murder that I saw 3 days ago, and
I saw
all
the
of that-
video. By the way, there's a video going viral of the murder.
of the whole thing.
Well, not the shooting itself. I think right after it happened.
And did you realize it's leaked to Manhattan Beach? Crime?
Yes. Yeah.
Wait, what?
Like the main street of Manhattan Beach.
What's it called? Highland? What's that street called?
I think it's got Manhattan Beach. I'm
There's
not
crime
sure.
there now. Is that what you're saying?
Boulevard?
Yeah, they did a smash and grab of like a really high profile jewelry store.
Is it
Yeah,
really
that's
a
what I'm
high-profile
saying.
jewelry store in Manhattan Beach?
Wait a minute, this story doesn't check out.
I saw the video.
My point is, I care a lot more about that today than I care about January 6th. I'm just being honest. So
Yeah,
instead
man.
of like
January
continuing to go
6th,
back
like,
and talk about
we
January
need to
6th,
stop. Like, we get it. Like,
It was.
they try to like
I don't think the average
ruin
American.
the democracy. No one gives a shit.
Yeah.
yeah,
No
it didn't
one.
work.
No one actually
Let's move
cares.
on.
No, that's the problem, and like
It's like very like kind of symbolic, and we get it. Like, sure, overturning election is a really bad thing,
yeah.
and like laughing because it's so ridiculous that
Yeah.
we even had to entertain.
But it also
this.
didn't work. And overturning Roe v. Wade just did.
Yes.
And all the crime in all these cities is currently happening now. And all that, it's just like, yeah, man, like, yes, they
Who's coming
tried
with me to London? Who's
I'm
London?
I'm
I can't afford London.
I'm
Fuck
in for
outta
the
here.
dream. I have no
That's elitist
kids.
city.
I love
elitist
London.
city.
It's like a clean New York.
It's like 60 pounds for fucking
I saw
breakfast.
you with
They don't
your
have any
camera in
guns
London.
there.
Trauma. You were with my bachelor
Loved
party.
it.
You
I
were
loved
taking
it.
your camera, just shooting photos,
Shooting
left,
photos.
right, and
So
center.
Drama's going to
fucking
New York.
artsy. I went
Drama's
and looked
moving
at
to
the
New York.
Queen's house. I might go to New York too, but it's closer to London. I didn't have to worry about a gun.
There's
Nothing.
no guns in London.
There's none. Worst case scenario, you're getting shanked. That's all right. I'll take my chances.
Yeah, you could survive a
You
stabbing.
just take a bottle to your
Yeah.
head. That's the worst.
That's
It's
fine.
pretty bad.
It's totally fine. We're going to London. Is the time right to move on?
Yeah, I mean, I think to wrap it up, terrible, obviously weekend. But I'm not one to like sulk when I get
Take an L.
when I take an L. Instead, I'd be thinking strategy, being thoughtful. Like I don't think yelling and screaming fucking ever helps.
Well, I think like
it's-
yell and scream, but just please fucking also do something.
So I'll give you an interesting experience I had as a college student. This is like
Okay.
probably my most vivid memory of college. I was a senior at USC in the entrepreneurship program. This was 9/11 morning.
Mm-hmm.
I had a 10 a.m. class.
Mm-hmm.
9/11 happened. We were like, do we go to school? What happens? Like, we were watching it on TV, and USC emailed and said, school is on for today.
My birthday.
Yeah, Anand's birthday.
I was at USC too.
And
Freshman.
and we go to class. And in our class today was a guest speaker, Paul Orfila, who started Kinko's.
Uh-huh.
And he was going to give a lecture on, just probably just entrepreneurship. And he was like, he could get, the classroom was very angry, very sad. And he said something that like almost like literally triggered me. And then I got where he was thinking. He was like, all right, so what's the opportunity here? And I was like, the fuck is this guy talking about? Opportunity.
Yeah.
And he's like, you can take every situation and you could be like, be angry and say, bomb the shit out of them and do this and do that. Or you could be like, what are the opportunities here? Is there an opportunity to figure out how to bring peace in the region? Is there an opportunity to understand why this happened? Like he made a very like, it took me like, I think it was like a 3-hour class. I think an hour into it, I was like, this guy, I just hated him.
Mm-hmm.
And then I finally, honestly, it took me like months later where I finally appreciated what he said. And when I look at something like this, it's very easy to get angry. It's very easy to scream and yell, but you really have to look at it like, what is the opportunity? Why did we get here? And how do we make sure that this doesn't happen in the future? And so to me, it's not a Republican issue. It is a Democratic issue. It's how do you fix the party so that these things don't happen in the future? This is our opportunity. Otherwise, everything else is on the table and it's far fucking worse.
Yeah.
And that's where I think like, as someone that got that knee jerk at 9/11, and I was very angry. I was very like, I was one of those people like fucking bomb everybody. Like this is because it was so like devastating to watch this. And I think, and I understood I'm sure as a young person listening right now, you're like, you're fucking angry, but like that doesn't solve problems at the end of the day. Like you actually have to be extremely strategic what the next step is. Otherwise, these problems get way worse.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I love the optimistic view, and I love.
But we'll be in London.
Yeah. No, but like I'm like, I'm not young anymore. I've been around as an adult for 20 years.
I mean, our president is double your age, so you are young.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
The next president might be 2.5 times your age.
Yeah, you're
but
young.
it's just a weird situation. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's hard not to go to that place that you're talking about of like, it's fucking over. Nothing makes sense. Nothing.
No,
it's
not.
over.
It's over.
Let's go.
It's honestly like it's not over. It's basically what's sad, and what I've like in the last 12 to 18 months, I've really found myself. I've become increasingly selfish on my worldviews,
Mm-hmm.
and that sucks.
Like,
Well, that's
in
a
what
function-
way? Like from before. Like, what's a change?
Meaning, like, I don't think anything can be fixed.
Got it.
So I'm like, I have to like just live my life like accordingly to my family.
So to that point exactly is why Republicans win.
I was going to say, you can join the Republican Party because they're
It's extremely selfish.
they'd love to have you. They're selfish too, and they get shit
They're
done.
like, hey, Anand.
Anand, the head of the party's calling you tomorrow. They're like,
Literally.
don't we have a nice little house for you in South Carolina, baby? Little beach house. You don't want to hear about politics?
It's
We'll kill the
insane.
internet.
It's insane because I'm so pro healthcare. I'm so all these things.
Yeah, but
And like, I just don't feel like anyone
okay,
can help.
there's a few reasons why. You have children, and that is the number one thing you care about in your life is your children. That's it, right? That's all people who have children. Their number one concern is their children. And so that's why like crime and education and healthcare are your most important priorities. When you look down like your typical very loud person on the Democratic Party, a lot of them are younger people who are not at that phase of their life. They're able to have the freedom to worry about other things.
Of course.
We don't have that luxury because if we can't take care of our house, we are fucked.
Yeah, of
Right?
course.
Like if I can't give
I
my
hear you,
kids
man.
the basics, then it's like all bets are off. I don't care about anything else. And that is where the Republicans win because they're just like, we're going to take care of you. Fuck everybody else.
Yeah, for real.
and I think that's a great marketing tactic. And I think Democrats are too much of like, let's burn this whole thing down all the time. Every summer we have to burn everything down.
Every
That's not
summer. What are you
happening.
talking about? We're doing it in the spring, fall, and winter as well.
Yeah, like it's just look, I want change, I want progressiveness, I want all those things. But let's be smart about it. Like, let's be opportunistic. There are times when you have leverage and you can impact change. Because screaming, yelling, and protesting has proven to be a big fucking loser.
Okay. I think we should end there, right? I mean,
Well, we should talk about All In Podcast just because we talk about it all the time.
let's shake that off. And then, so the one other thing, we had a few other things to talk about today, but it just doesn't, it feels hard to like switch gears. But the one thing that we got to talk about is, so All In Podcast is back. You know, we didn't wrongly report. I mean, J Cal from All In Podcast posted essentially the podcast was done and heartbroken emojis and all this stuff. Now they're back. The story is a dispute over ownership of the pod between the 4 stars, and we're back. What do you guys think?
I kind of piecemeal listened to it this weekend.
Yeah.
I listened to the beginning and then I listened to the rest of it. I think it took me like whatever, the whole weekend, like 10-minute increments. I'm sure that was one part of it. I don't think that's the whole story. I think it's
I don't think that was any part of it.
no,
You think-
I believe that. I believe Jason's right. That thing is a media. It's
his company.
Yeah, sure. It should
He
be.
should
But
have.
do you
yeah.
think the billionaires care about it?
I think they care about control.
I think
I think they care about
Similar
fame.
to, do Republicans actually care about abortion? No.
The only thing
Do
that
those guys
billionaires
actually
care
care
about,
about-
that have left to care about that they don't have is fame.
I think
And I think that was their road. To,
I
that's
think
their
we
road
know
to that.
what happened. I think I leaked it on the last episode.
Well,
I think it's a combination of things.
we need a
I
leak.
think,
Yeah. No, go ahead. Dee,
I think
sorry.
it's. I do think it's a combination of things. I think it's like, there's a concern for whatever happened internally among their little weird beefs they have. Dude, you're talking 4 guys with egos. They're rich. Like, the shit's gonna happen. Second, I'm sure there was personal shit people are going through. I mean, we could see the stock market. They're all very publicly involved in various companies. And I think it's just a function of the times, and
That's okay.
Yeah, but just it's fine.
Be honest about it.
I don't think they should be honest. I think
don't make up this like.
No, I'm okay.
2% like.
No, I like that. I like that.
I don't care if you lost
Dee
a lot
wants
of
to
money.
be lied to.
I would. You know what I always like when people would say, "I don't like anyone in LA. They're fake." I love that. I'd rather to my face be nice.
Yeah.
I don't
You
want
want
it in
Santa
New York
Claus.
where you're like, I go, hey, which way is the East Village? Oh,
Left.
fuck off.
Left, you fucking
Yeah.
idiot.
Yeah, I don't want that. I don't want that. I want to be lied to. I'm very comfortable
want
being lied to.
Santa
I'm
Claus.
fine with them like
You want the tooth
doing
fairy.
their thing, but like
I love the tooth
I
fairy.
mean, it's fine.
Okay. All right.
Well, I'm glad they're back because I think it's a good podcast.
I'm glad they hashed it out. I'm glad everyone looked like they were still in nice houses.
Can I give like a little shade?
Oh, sure. You can do whatever you want.
The little shade is like he talked about the podcast, how like they were criticizing the Fed from 2008 to lower all the interest rates, like, and this was so wrong. This is the only reason they're all really, really, really rich.
Obviously.
Yeah.
So now you're criticizing the Fed 14 years later? Like,
also
you guys are all
yeah.
billionaires? Like, this is the
They also were talking about like
only
regulation
reason.
and like how crypto needs regulated, and like leverage needs regulated.
And
like,
do you remember the pod when they bragged about Solana $1 billion?
yeah.
Like, give me a break, dude.
So you're all out.
That's the
I'm
hot
all
take.
out.
So you're all
But
out.
you're listening.
I'm still half in.
I listen because it's fun. I need to know what my competition is.
All right. Well, leave into that whatever you want. And either way, it's a hot take. Thanks for listening. That was our take. I mean, I think we got past Dee's disclaimer and into the real meat of it. And we do fully acknowledge that we're 3 dudes talking about this topic, but I think it's pretty clear where we all stand and that we all share the frustration, even if we don't understand the nuance of what it's like to be a woman through these experiences. But yeah, reach out to us if you got anything interesting. And please remember to actually go act, go vote, go try to make an impact. Don't just hashtag.